Let's go! We ready? Woo! Let's go, baby. Dummies for sports. Here we go. All right, welcome to Dummies for Sports, everyone. We're over here on the road. Dummies for Sports on the road. Let's do it, baby. All right, we're talking a little about Jalen Hurts passing by Philly in about 30 minutes over here. So let's talk a little about the Eagles. You know,
fly, Eagles, fly.
I really think it's unfair. It's unfair, Meisty, that all the good quarterbacks are in the AFC. Because, you know, right now we're seeing it, not to bring baseball into this, but we're seeing it with the Orioles. The Orioles have the second or third best record in baseball, but they are also 5 games out of first place because they have the unfortunate reality of being in the AL East. And I think every team in the AFC got screwed in a similar fashion, in that it's simply the only good quarterback in the NFC is one Jalen Hurts. So I think that we need to distribute the talent a little more. That's what I need to think. We need to trade Josh Allen to the NFC.
Wow, that is a hot take, Rocky.
We need to trade Patrick Mahomes to the NFC, and the Ravens will win the Super Bowl. We'll be good to go.
We could take Joe Burrow. We could give them Joe Burrow. I mean, I think that's a very hot take. I mean,
it'll all
are
be
you going to
fair.
tell me that Baker Mayfield isn't in the NFC these days? Isn't a top quarterback? I mean,
No. The problem is Baker Mayfield's not in the NFC.
Yeah, he's the Buccaneers now.
Oh, he's with the Bucs now.
Yeah,
Okay, 2 great quarterbacks in the NFC.
There you go.
Okay,
So,
my bad. Okay, fine. You know what? But
Sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. Some quarterbacks, better quarterbacks, end up on one side, and the less quarterbacks good on the other side.
it does flip-flop. It does flip-flop back and forth. There's a lot of talent on both
It's like
sides.
the East and West in the NBA. Now it's like, you know.
right, it used to be.
Yeah, it flips back and forth.
Switch.
So I would have to say I think Jalen Hurts. There's no luck. It's like the Denver Nuggets. People are like, well, they played the depleted Lakers, whoever else they played, and it doesn't really matter that they won. Like, bro, UConn was the same way also. You don't choose who you play who you play. So you know what? If Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback by default because everyone else stinks, so what? It's not my problem that everyone else stinks and I'm just better than everyone else. The goal is to be better than everyone else, not to be the best of all time. Yes, if you happen to be the best of all time, great. But if you're better than everyone else every single year, you're winning every single year, no one's gonna question. Well, that's how you get to the greatest of all time.
Correct.
By being better than everyone else every single year.
I mean, look at Jordan, right? In a league with Magic and Bird. No, 100%. Well, that's always the claim against LeBron is that, well, he was in the East. So what? He made the finals 10 straight years. It doesn't really make a difference.
He lost 6.
But at the end of the day, he dominated the competition that he had. So
now,
you can't.
I'm going to give you, Rocky, the wildest stat you've ever heard.
Okay.
Sorry for going a little off track.
No. That's the idea.
12 out of the last 13 NBA Finals have had either the Warriors or the Heat, and they've never played each other in either of them. And
That actually is wait, is it never?
No,
because
it's
LeBron
never
was the
been
Mavs and
Wild. I mean, sorry, it's never been Heat versus Warriors, and the 2 of them have been in 12 out of the last 13 NBA Finals.
that's pretty crazy.
And
then
my
the other
friends.
3. That's a nice
Right?
Nice stat.
Now that's
Right, because it was the Cavs against the Warriors. So
It was
LeBron
the
played against the
Cavs,
Warriors.
It was never the
Right.
Heat. The Heat have the actual, since 2006, lead the NBA in finals appearances.
That's underrated. More than the Warriors. That is underrated, man. I want to go back to your NFC point, right? So if you look at the past in the NFC, Rodgers was in it, right? And you had good quarterbacks in the NFC, but it does flip-flop. Rodgers, Breeze. I would say more all-time. You probably had better quarterbacks in the NFC, like you had, but they got old, they retired. Now everyone's in the AFC. Russell Wilson was in the NFC, and now they flip-flop. Well, Peyton was never in the AFC.
Jimmy Garoppolo, Colin Kaepernick.
Jimmy who?
Oh, enough.
Colin Kaepernick.
Colin who?
Colin Kaepernick.
I don't know who that is.
Colin Kaepernick.
Jimmy who?
Yeah, Philip
Colin
Rivers.
Takeney.
Oh, you mean the guy that's going to win the AFC, the AFC West this year?
Colin Takeney?
No,
He's not playing.
tell Colin Takeney. All right, let's not get shut down. But I'm still going to post this, of course, without
Yeah, of course.
editing it.
No edits. No edits.
No, of course, for darn certain. So I was going to get to this. Who are your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL?
By the way, the reason why this is produced very poorly today is because our producer is getting married today. We didn't mention we're such.
Woo!
I have to edit that into the beginning. Like,
Yes. By the way, we are currently going up to the wedding of the guy that makes it all happen, the graphic and everything you see, which you probably won't see here because it's just going to be an audio. unless we somehow put our faces into the thing and do like lip sync or something. But barring that, AI, right? That's true. We can pull it off with AI. But other than that, yes, we're going up to. We're making the trek to our producer's wedding, and having a good time over here. And let's end off with this, Meisty. Top 5 quarterbacks.
I'll
top
get you
5
mine. I'll
quarterbacks.
give you mine.
Let's hear it, man.
I'll start off top 3.
What's your name?
Sure.
What's your name?
Sean Sheen.
Sean. All right, Sean.
Sean.
Top 5 Sean quarterbacks.
Top 5 quarterbacks is brought to you by Miracle Massage. Your body, my hands, our miracle. Get your massages. Call Sean. Reach out to anyone in the podcast. They'll tell you how to get his number. I don't know. What's the number? How does someone reach you, Sean?
434-228-5700. Call today. Let's do it.
Will we give one listener a free massage?
No, mention the Rocky and Meisty show, $5 off. Yalla.
There you go. Do I get a free massage?
Yeah, that's right. We'll talk about it. I'm not Rocky. 50 mentions.
After this car ride, I'm going to need a free massage.
50 mentions and you get yourself a massage.
No, okay, fine. All right.
All right, so I'll
if
tell
we
you
get
top
1,000
4.
views on this video, Rocky gets a free massage.
Rocky
Please
gets
get 1,000 views on this video.
I'll tell you my top 4 quarterbacks, because 5, I think the 5th one's already getting whatever, but I think there's a distinct top 4. Number 1, I think most would agree it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
2 and 3, I think people are flopping between Hurts and Allen. You know, I think Allen's been around a little longer. He's a little bit more proven.
He's dead serious.
I know he is.
And then,
Funniest part.
and then 4th, they say is I hold Joe Burrow. So that's your top 4. After that, who knows? But
Let's give me number 5. That's the hardest part.
Yeah, that's why you have to
number
get...
5
Yeah.
It's
is
gotta be Dak Prescott, right?
Dak Prescott might be 15. You're gonna say Herbert, Rodgers. It's hard. It's really, really hard to say. I'm definitely not gonna say Trevor Lawrence.
You get one honorable mention. Okay, so get 5 and then an honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Yeah.
Honorable mention. I kind of need to see the list in front of me.
Okay, fine. So let's say Herbert. You wouldn't give it number 5?
Let's stick with Herbert for now. Let's just stick with Herbert because I know he's good. I don't think he's that good. Like I know he can sling it, but he's never shown that much. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So for right now, let's put Herbert. Yeah.
Okay. So you got Herbert 5, and who's your honorable mention? Rodgers?
Yeah.
Rodgers
He has much better potential this year with that defense there too, and he's got some weapons. He can make it happen. If he still got it, we'll see it.
Okay. Me and Meisty happen to be on the against the Aaron Rodgers train, so
He's my honorable mention. I put him in my honorable mention.
I might do that as well. Who you want? You want to go first, Meisty? You want me
Yeah,
to go
I got this. So, obviously, like Sean said, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is clear 1. I don't think it's anywhere close by. I think this number 2 is Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And I think 3 is Joshua Allen. I think number 4 is... I have to agree with Sean on this one and put it on the list. I think.
He's trying to make me mad.
I know. I really agree that I think Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in the league at the moment. At this current moment, he took a team to the Super Bowl, whether you like it or not, whether it's with the defense, without the defense, with the good receivers, with the running team. With the bottom line is he right now is the defending NFC champion, so he deserves to be on the top 5 list. But we'll put him at number 4. At number 5 is Lamar Jackson. And the reason why Lamar Jackson, not only because, yes, I am a Ravens fan, so yes, I am being a little biased, but the reason is I think a happy Lamar Jackson, no, because a happy Lamar Jackson is a better Lamar Jackson, whether you like it or not, it's true. And we hope that it's true, and there's a lot of potential in Lamar Jackson that we know. So I put him. Aaron Rodgers is my honorable mention because he actually is the last of the greats right now. There are no great. Who else is sitting in the league right now? It's considered a great.
Brady comes
Right.
out of retirement.
Rocky, who else is great?
I think you do have to put Aaron Rodgers in the top 6 because he's still okay. Last year wasn't off year,
He's got weapons.
but the year before that he was still the 3rd or 4th best quarterback in the league.
Just because of his
as
career.
well. I still think he's got left in the tank. I just don't know if he's got enough.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's a top 5 quarterback because of his career. Brett Favre is
You
the
wanna
one
go that
guy.
route?
Yeah, Brett Favre. Maybe you could have said fell out of the top 5 during his career, but
Well, right, but he made a resurrection with the Vikings even then. But yeah, you can say that. I'm gonna have the same thing as you till number 4. So I have number 1 Mahomes, number 2 Burrow. The reason I put Burrow slightly ahead of Allen, I don't know why I just like it better. No, the reason I put Burrow slightly ahead of Allen is because Allen has tremendous upside, probably more upside than any quarterback in the league, except for maybe Lamar Jackson, I would say. But meaning Lamar Jackson never hits the upside, but Allen hits the upside a lot more often. But Allen also has led the league in interceptions, led the league in turnover-worthy plays last year. So He's just a little more risky of a player. Joe Burrow is a little more, also has the big plays in him, not as much as Allen, but he's a little bit safer. So I'll take him number 2, Allen number 3. Number 4, I'm actually going to go with, believe it or not, Justin Herbert's my number 4 guy. I don't think Jalen Hurts has quite cut my top 5 yet. Jalen Hurts reminds me a little, so he had the one breakout year like Lamar Jackson. We're not saying, like, Jalen Hurts 2022 was no better than Lamar Jackson 2019. It just wasn't. We're talking about a guy, this is coming from a guy that said the Raiders should not re-sign Lamar Jackson, but I don't think Jalen Hurts has surpassed Lamar Jackson yet. That's my personal opinion. Number 5 is Lamar Jackson. I agree with that. The reason I think Lamar has to be in the top 5 is because I don't see that many great quarterbacks in the league right now, and they're all in the AFC. But I just don't see that many great quarterbacks. Like, people are putting Dak Prescott number 7. If Dak Prescott's number 7 in the league, you know you have a problem with the lack of quarterback talent in the league. So yeah. I'm putting Lamar number 5. Lamar, again, when he's playing at his top game, Nick Wright said this from Fox Sports. He said, he's a Chiefs fan. He said, there's only one guy I'm scared of when he's playing his A+ ball that can beat the Chiefs, and that's Lamar Jackson. And that's 100% true. Now, Lamar Jackson gets 2 games every year where he plays his A+ ball. But if it happens to be against the Chiefs, then that's what you understand.
I don't agree with that, Joe Burrow.
I happen to agree with it because I think that Lamar obviously has big playability. We've seen him make 4 or 5 big throws a game, but he obviously doesn't do it that often. And then I think number 6, I'm going to put Aaron Rodgers as my honorable mention. I still think that the guy can throw. I still think that 2 years ago, Aaron Rodgers was the 3rd or 4th rate quarterback in the league. This past year, granted, his receivers are horrible. Part of the blame is him. Part of the blame is his receivers. But I still think it's intriguing enough where you have to put him number 6.
Where does Hurts fall for you?
Number 7, right after that. Number 7. Yeah, I put Hurts number 7.
So let me bring up an honorable to end this off. To end the little whatever you call him. But I'm looking forward this year to Trevor Lawrence. I do look forward. They don't scare me, the Jaguars, when it comes down to the playoffs. I'm not scared of them. They're like the Chargers. They're gonna be. I'm not scared of them. But Trevor Lawrence, with all the weapons, with the defense, with everything, with all the pieces in place now, Trevor. All right, there's no excuses now. You have all your pieces. Maybe you're missing 1 or 2, fine, maybe, but all your pieces are there. If he can come out, and his division is crap. If he can come out on top of his division, and maybe have a top 2, maybe a 3 seed, I'll be impressed. And you know what? If there's MVP talks, I wouldn't be shocked. I would be shocked if he won MVP because there's just way better talent. But if he's in the MVP talks and he has, they start the season 8-2 and they're looking really hot, I wouldn't be shocked. He can move up into the top 5.
The division is a big factor, and that division stinks. So they're going to be going up against the Colts, Titans, and Texans.
Those teams are rebuilding. So we'll see what those teams bring to the table.
But Trevor Lawrence sort of hit the trajectory of his career has been exactly as you would think. First year, not really that good. Showed a couple sparks here and there. Second year, started off a little better, and then progressively got better the last 8-9 weeks of the season. So that's it. And so you expect that's going to continue to happen. If that trajectory continues, then this year will take an even bigger leap. And I agree with you. But it's always tricky with those guys at the beginning of the careers, right? Like for Justin Herbert, great rookie year, but then sort of leveled out a little. Look, it's great. He's still great. Maybe got a little better, but leveled out a little. So will the same thing happen with Trevor Lawrence? He'll get a little better, then he'll level out. Or will he take leaps and bounds like Josh Allen did, or Joe Burrow? Josh Allen's Josh Allen is. That happens once every 30 years.
Slowly declined every year.
Who?
Josh Allen?
No, Josh Allen was on the contrary. Josh Allen started off his career horrible. The first 2 years, just very inaccurate passing.
They got Diggs.
Third year, all of a sudden,
passing yards a game.
Yeah, but then they got Diggs. There's a difference though. He wasn't efficient. He wasn't winning games.
He was extremely inaccurate.
Diggs, and Diggs helps him a lot.
He was
which is huge, obviously.
He also runs for a fuck.
And his deep ball past 20. In his second year, past 20 yards, he's one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks in the league. And in his rookie year, he's one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks in the league overall. But then third year came, and all of a sudden he broke out and ended MVP. Lamar was the same thing. His rookie year, he was a horrible passer. He sort of did damage on the ground, a lot of damage on the ground.
Those 5 touchdown games, I remember.
On 2019, then he had that.
We're going to take a quick break for station identification and field stars.
See you later, guys.
We'll go be a little flips.
We're back with Dummies for Sports. Welcome. Featuring Rocky and Meisty. Okay, back to Jalen Hurts, guys. So yes,
special guest.
Sorry for rudely interrupting our special guest. Miracle. This podcast is brought to you by a Miracle Massage. Get your best massage. I don't know, what am I saying here? What was the read? They didn't give me the ad read.
Got it.
This
podcast is brought to you.
This podcast is brought to you by Miracle Massage. Your body, my hands, our miracle. Brought to you by Sean, the best masseuse in the world. Vibrating hands, they call them.
Oh, I like that.
The magical hands, they say. I heard it from one of his clients actually over the weekend. He told me, he's like, yes, I go to Sean, and it's magical what he does for me. I mean, I work so hard all week, call him every single week. He's on the money, he's quick, he's there, he's good, and he throws in that extra time sometimes. He's very good, but I shouldn't say that Sean's not I'm gonna get in trouble for that, but he's very good with what he does. Definitely top tier. So definitely go there. That's a long.
I love it. Fantastic. Off the cuff. Now, without further ado, Sean.
Without further ado, Jalen Hurts. I want to know what you guys think. If there's a reason why Jalen Hurts would do anything less than he did last year.
Well, I think that quarterbacks in general peak at a certain point in their career. Like, for example, you saw Lamar in 20.
Wait, Rocky, real quick. Can I
interject? Yes.
Yeah, let me interject. How many times, Sean, does a quarterback do the exact same thing the year after the next year? Is Kirk Cousins going to have?
Some guys are one-hit wonders.
How come is Kirk Cousins going to have? Is Kirk Cousins going to have that same year?
Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins started off very strong.
And he's been stellar. He's been pretty stellar. But no crazy numbers per se. He's just been consistent.
Anyway, Rocky, you can.
The thing is with Jalen Hurts, and I'll admit, of course, it's running quarterbacks don't usually have long, amazing running careers. Numbers in their careers with running, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not saying he won't repeat or will repeat.
I think he
what
has
he did.
similar weapons. It's pretty much the same weapons on offense, and defense is still there. Some different pieces, but lots of promise.
I'm not arguing the Eagles will be any less good as they were last year. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts will be any less good than he was last year. But we do often see quarterbacks, they peak and they have that one breakout year and then they just don't repeat it. Doesn't mean they don't have great careers. They can be Hall of Famers, but they just don't repeat that peak year. You mentioned Lamar in 2019.
I don't think he stopped peaking.
It's similar to Josh Allen in 2018. He hasn't quite hit what he did in 2018, although he's been great. He's been a top 5 quarterback.
Right.
Lamar's been fine too. He's been up and down. He's been fine, but he's not even close to what he was in 2019. So I think there's a good possibility that this happens with a lot of quarterbacks that they'll peak and then. But even aside from that, I think this list is based off what we've seen so far, and basically
he's young.
Right, correct. If Jalen Hurts has another 2022 and 2023, then I put him ahead of Lamar. Yes. Correct.
Drastic difference. You know what I'm saying?
There's definitely no drastic difference. I think once it gets past Allen, Burrow, and Mahomes, you're flipping. What's the expression? Flipping hair. What is it? Splitting hairs. Something like that. Anyway,
What's it about Burrow? I'm curious. I think he's just a little better version of Herbert. What is it about Burrow?
Yeah, but a little better version of Herbert is already.
Joe Burrow. The thing to Joe Burrow is it started with the fact is that we all know the Bengals suck. They did. At least they did.
Not Jamar.
Wait. They did. It doesn't matter. Jamar was rookie, and Joe Burrow is like just.
Their connection wasn't rookie.
The connection wasn't rookie, but it doesn't matter. He's rookie in the league. It doesn't matter. The point is Joe Burrow went immediately into winning right off the bat. Just became a winner. He wasted no time. Rookie year was just a winner, and he's cool about it, and he's just a good guy. He's a likable person, so I think that's why everyone just puts him on their list. He's not overrated, he's not underrated. He's exactly who he is. He's very talented. I think that's it. I think he's just a good quarterback. If you gave him a better line, he's still going to be the same. He's not going to be any different behind any team. Some quarterbacks need an offensive line. He clearly showed. He's like, I have the worst offensive line in football, and I'm still getting to the Super Bowl. That's Joe Burrow for you.
Yeah, last year, a few people know this, but last year the number 1 quarterback in the league according to PFF was Joe Burrow. He was also the most accurate quarterback in the league according to PFF. So he's a lot better than people give him credit for. I also think that his consistency is he's a little more consistent than Josh Allen, which is why I put him slightly above him, right? Like Josh Allen, there's nothing wrong with turning the ball over every once in a while if you produce as many big plays as Josh Allen does. It's going to happen. You're going to take a lot of shots. Mahomes turns the ball over actually quite a bit as well, right? I mean, compared to how many big plays he has, it's not even close. But the point is that Joe Burrow's efficiency, accuracy, while still producing those big plays down the field, he's still got the big arm. I think it's really unmatched outside of Mahomes, what he can do in the league. So, yeah, he's got the it factor, like you said, Meisty. He's got the accuracy. He's got the game on the field. He's also He's like he can also evade in the pocket. He's also got just enough athleticism where you have to respect it, and where you need two guys to bring him down in the backfield. We saw him make some really big plays in the playoffs this year with his legs, right? Extending plays. He converted, I think, 3 third downs, 3 third and longs with his legs against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. So he can do a lot of different things, and he doesn't have to rely on any one aspect of his game. He can sort of just do it all. I just love Burrow. Burrow is just absolutely the man. So, and he also goes against the Ravens. I'm a little biased. We get to see him a lot every year, and he obviously tears the Ravens to shreds. Although the Ravens actually had his number this year. Truth is.
I mean, if you're holding Lamar where he is, then it should be good matches this year.
Yeah, man. I don't know. We'll see about Lamar. Lamar worries me. I kept on saying the Ravens got to stop. Shouldn't sign. We never talked about Lamar since they signed him. I kept saying like the Ravens shouldn't sign Lamar. They got a better deal than I thought they would. It's $185 guaranteed. I thought they're gonna have to pay like $230 just like Watson, and they got $185. I still don't love the deal, Meisty. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like they could have got Will Levis late in the first round. I would have been a lot more. They should have waited one day. Why did they just wait one day, see who dropped in the draft, and then after the draft get sign Lamar? They drafted him a few hours before the draft.
Works that way.
What was to explain to me? Why not?
Because first of all, at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson's your guy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
All right, he rebirthed football in Baltimore when it was dying and everyone was just needing life, and he pumped life into the town. True. It's not that much money at the end of the day. Come down to the next in 4 or 5 years, you're gonna look back and be like, all right, not so bad, right? That's what you're gonna say in 4 or 5 years from now.
True.
And if he wins you a Super Bowl, you don't care how much you paid him. So, all right, if he wins you 2 Super Bowls, you definitely don't care. Right? Like the whole point is, we're paying you to win. If you win, then you did exactly what we need you to do. So
that's if they win a Super Bowl with him. But my whole problem is that I don't think Lamar in 4 years hasn't put together 3 games where he's thrown the ball well consistently. He hasn't put together even 2. Rarely. It rarely happens. Like you'll have one good game from him every once in a while where it's like, whoa, this guy really pocket passer, right? You force him to throw, he can beat you with his arm. But it doesn't happen so often. So in the playoffs, you're going to need 2 or 3 games like that, and I don't see that happening with Lamar.
I agree, but I disagree. So I'll tell you why I disagree. Because the game plan. This is why the Ravens people are like, we need this receiver, that receiver. You could bring any receiver to the Ravens. We're still going to run the ball 30, 40 times a game. We're still going to run the ball. We're still not going to pass the ball that much. That's why we don't have a guy like D-Hop. That's why we have OBJ, because he's good, but he's also on the back end, but he fits into this, right? We're going to be a team that's going to run the ball.
They're run first regardless. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that.
Correct. So the Ravens are. That's why sometimes he looks. He's a pocket passer this game. The next game he wasn't such a pocket passer. It wasn't because he wasn't a pocket, because our run game was so good that he didn't need to pocket pass. And when he did pocket pass, he was out of rhythm because they've just been running the ball a lot. Or even if the run game's not doing well, just because the pocket pass, he's always out of rhythm on the pocket pass. This is something I actually blame on coaching. Quarterbacks need to be in rhythm. Proof to that is Gunnar Henderson, right? Started off. They put him at third base, and he was garbage. His hitting was garbage. His fielding was okay. Everything was mediocre. And we were like, Gunnar, come on, Gunnar, wake up,
top
Gunnar.
prospect.
Right,
What's
come on,
going
Gunnar, wake up, Gunnar. And then they're like, you know what? We're gonna put him back to shortstop. They put him at shortstop, and as soon as they put him at shortstop, he was smashing home runs. He's all over the place. He's playing much better. It's the same thing here. Quarterback, especially a passing quarterback, they need rhythm. A guy who throws 4 or 5 picks, what happens? Right? He gets pulled. He's going to play very bad. Rarely does a guy throw 4 or 5, 3-4 picks in the first half and then figure it out at halftime and then come back and play better. No, they're just not. They're out of rhythm. They stay out of rhythm. Lamar Jackson's always out of rhythm. If the run game's not working, everything's not working. Sometimes he catches rhythm, and because he's good. He's a quarterback. He's talented. He can just play talent, but he needs to be able to catch rhythm. How do you do that when you run heavy? I do not have the answer. That's why. If I had the answer, I'd be sitting in the office with John Harbaugh discussing it.
No, maybe we should be after all. But bringing up OBJ, I've been thinking about his contract a little bit, and obviously the Ravens have taken a lot of heat for signing him to such a large sum of money, right? What is it, $16 to $18 million? So, and it is a lot of money for a guy that really has not stayed on the field for 3 years now, Meisty. So I'll give my thoughts, and I'll see what your thoughts are on it. And it hit me why the Ravens did it, right? The Ravens are a very calculated organization. They've always been like that. Every dollar they spend, there is a reason behind why they do it, right? The same thing with the Lamar Jackson thing. I think the reason they did OBJ is very simple. You get towards the end of the offseason, which is when they signed OBJ, towards the end of free agency, right? And you're like, listen, we have the money for Lamar Jackson already. They have this amount of remaining cap space. They can sign OBJ. It's only 1 year. It's not going to affect him after this year anyway. So you might as well spend the cap space on OBJ. I think it's got to be a thought process or something along those lines. Because if it was a 5-year, $18 million deal, they would have, or let's say 3 year, they would have never even 2 year. They wouldn't have done that. But they know exactly what they have and what they're able to spend this year. So that's why they spent, 1 year, we know that we're able to afford this, we'll do it. Next year, we'll figure that out next year. That's what I came up with. I don't know if that's the real reason, but it's just, thoughts to ponder. So, because it did bother me at first. I'm like, listen, man, this guy literally, granted, with the Giants, he had 1,100 yards every single year. We're talking about acrobatic catches, as we all know. He's one-on-one, you got to double him every single time. He's a force to be reckoned with. And even when he was on the Rams in the playoff run, he was a vital piece to that Super Bowl run, no question. The Rams signed him for less than $1 million for the last 8-9 games of the season, you know what I'm saying? And they got a Super Bowl out of it. So, but again, you're talking about 5 games, 5-6 games that he played with the Rams, and he's played he probably played a season worth of games in the last 3 years. So why do you sign him to that much money? It's got to be as simple as that. I'm convinced.
You're worried about this year, and you'll figure out next
Correct.
year.
Figure out next year. That's it.
You don't know, especially when you have Lamar Jackson, and you don't really know what the future holds, especially when they signed OBJ. They didn't know what the deal was with Lamar Jackson. So
people said they signed OBJ to lure Lamar in. I don't know if I buy that.
Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. It doesn't matter. The point is, at the time of the signing, right, they didn't know who their quarterback technically would be. They were hoping it would be Lamar Jackson, but they didn't know. Now they know. Now they can maybe think about for next. So now it's a little too late into the offseason. Okay, so this year you'll have what you have. Fine. Next year you can try to sign people for the future. You can try to build. Now you can start building for the next 5 years. You have Lamar Jackson. So now you have to start building for the next 5 years.
Agreed. Okay, let's should we do one more thing?
Sure.
1 minute. Okay. We just talked about. This is just a general topic, fun topic we'll talk about.
By the way, Dodge Challengers are the slowest cars in the entire world.
Dodge Challengers are quick. Well, it depends if you get the 2023.
No. Those are the Chargers. Chargers are fast. Challengers are slow as poop.
Chargers. Okay, so we just talked about whether or not you play sports to win or not, right?
Oh, we hold on, yeah.
So this actually ties into Lamar Jackson. And oh man, it's good we're not doing video. So no particular reason, just So what was I saying? We just talked about whether or not do you play sports to win? We're in a car for 4 hours with each other. A bunch of guys in a car with each other for 4 hours. What happens? We talk about sports. It's only natural, right?
Of course.
What else the heck do you talk about for 4 hours? We talk about deep, profound thoughts of life. Yeah. Maybe we'll get there later. I don't know. Depends how crazy we go. But anyway, so whether or not you play sports to win or you're not. So I remember Giannis had an interview. It was a few weeks ago after the Bucks lost in the playoffs, and I actually loved it. It was so refreshing to hear, like an athlete talk like that. So pretty much they asked him, like, is it a failure this year? I actually sort of disagreed with him, but I like the answer. They asked him, is it a failure? Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
The Giannis interview?
Yeah,
they asked him, is this year a failure since he didn't win the finals? And he got a little upset at the question. And he's like, listen, man, I show up to my job and I leave. This is my job. I try to win, but if I don't, it's not a failure. You're not always going to succeed in your job. You're not always going to go to the top, to the mountaintop. Do I sound like him? It's not bad, actually.
Horrible.
No?
Horrible.
No?
Do it again.
That's pretty good.
It's racist as fuck. Don't ever do it again.
What?
The worst one.
No, it's okay. I showed you.
What do you mean? English comes from Greek, and he's Greek, so I really have some of his accent in me. Anyway, so
Leave it up to the audience.
Right.
Leave it up to the audience.
You're not English. Next.
all right. Anyway, basically, so and then, but I also what I loved about it. By the way, he was about to get upset. He's like, I don't want to get upset. I don't want to get upset. Like he was holding himself back on the stage. It was the funniest thing. But basically, I sort of disagree with him because I think sports, it is a failure if you don't win. It doesn't mean you should be I'm a failure.
To win.
But
Just getting by and then.
it doesn't mean it should. It doesn't mean you should be like, I'm a failure because I didn't win. But yes, your team, you failed. You failed your mission. Your mission is to win. You're not going to win it every year, but you're going to fail most years. That's the reality of it, right? So I personally think the idea of sports is to win it all. That's my shot, and that's exactly why I don't think the Ravens should have signed Lamar Jackson. If your goal is to have a winning season and make the playoffs every year, Lamar Jackson is exactly what you need. Right? You're going to make the playoffs every year. You're going to be exciting. You're going to bring fans to the stadium. You're going to think you have a chance to win the Super Bowl when you really don't. Right? No, I'm kidding. They have a chance, but your goal is to win it all every year. I'm sorry. And the goal of sports in general is to win.
Correct.
You don't get consolation prizes. That's not the way this works.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? You play to win the game. What do you think about that? You play to win or you play to have fun?
Whoa. We just witnessed an accident on the road. That would have been very funny, actually.
Where?
This guy right here almost hit the guy over there.
That would have been nuts. Live on the Dummies for Sports.
Yeah, it would have been. With the video, we could have been witnessing.
Oh my gosh, that would have been great content. No, chas v'shalom, God forbid. Don't want anyone Anyway, so do we play sports to win or to have fun?
So let's get back to it. So here's the deal. Hold on. In the professional sports world, if you're not a winner, you're a loser. If you ain't first, you're last. In the professional sports world. So yes, Giannis, and especially Giannis, who was the number 1 seed and lost to the 8th seed. Right? Now, regardless of that. So yes, that's failure, right? Even if you make the championships and lose in the championships, it's a technical failure, yes. Now, can you have personal accolades in the season if you won MVP? Yeah, so Joel Embiid, for example, right, wasn't a total failure because he has a personal accolade, but the goal was to win the finals, and you didn't. So now what? You did fail, right? If your goal is to win MVP, then screw you. You're a piece of chara. Go screw yourself, right? But so I think if you're playing recreational ball, your local morning leagues, yes, you want to win, and because winning is fun, and you have fun winning. But I don't think to get, I've seen fights break out at these things. What are we doing fighting? Come on, what are we doing? We're a bunch of, 9-to-5 workers. Come on.
Yeah.
Right? You're not getting paid here. That's different. So if someone's winning and not having fun, then no, because I've seen winning and not having fun before, because every time you make a small, tiny mistake, if someone's in your face, no, it's not so much fun sometimes. So, don't make mistakes. I saw it. It was so simple, right? But so I think the answer is both ways are possible. The question is, which way?
I think you're correct to make a distinction. I'm going to stay to the right, Delaware Memorial Bridge.
Yeah.
You're good. Yeah. I think you're correct to make a distinction. trying to navigate ourselves here. So I think you're correct to make a distinction between professional and not professional. But Sean, what do you think about that?
I believe that both are good to have, but I think the more important one is to win, because that's really the goal. The goal in the game is to win, to be the winner. That's what people are reaching for. That's the whole idea of it all. Yeah, it'd be nice to enjoy yourself throughout your process. That's what we try to do in life, right? Deeper conversations, right?
Mm-hmm.
We try to enjoy
Yes, we went
our
there.
process.
Well, life is not a game. Life
is
not a game, but continue.
It could be. The goal is to win. The goal is to win. So, you hope it can be enjoyable along the way, but the goal is definitely to win.
Well, I would say on the contrary, sports is to escape. I don't want to say avoid, but to escape life. That's why we have sports in general. It's just an escape. So it's
another way to enjoy it.
It's the opposite of life. Of what the goal of life. The goal of sports is to win. The goal of life is obviously not to win. It's to be happy. But the goal of whatever. Yeah, that's a whole different topic. That's not the topic of this podcast. But the point being that the goal of sports. I agree with you. Both are important. But I think that winning leads to having fun. I mean, look at the Orioles, right? When the Orioles aren't good, we never watch them, because it's uninteresting. But this year, the Orioles are the third best record in baseball.
Well, speak for yourself. I watched them. I mean,
no,
they just don't let me watch it.
You're a real good fan. I'm not as good of a fan.
They don't let me watch it here because the stupid Masson Scooby.
What happened? What happened to Masson?
It's all blacked out. I don't have Masson. If you don't have Masson, you can't watch the game.
Oh.
Big bums. I mean, I just have to watch it illegally, but that's not my fault.
Someone else in this car might do that also. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, but
but anyway, so yeah, but the point is, winning leads to having fun. That's what I think the point is. If you're not winning, you're not going to have very much fun. Like, I remember leagues in camp Lahavdil.
Lahavdil.
Leagues in camp. I'm sorry, when I was on, one year we made the Super Bowl, it was great. We had a blast. You know what I'm saying? We were winning games. We won like 10 out of 15 games a season. We had, we doubled. So those types of seasons where you're competing and you make the Super Bowl and you make the last game, those are fun. But the games we won 2 games and we just weren't competitive, nobody took it seriously. Everyone's like, what are we going to compete for? We're not going to win anyway. So then you don't have fun. Then you don't have fun because you have to take the game seriously. And taking the game seriously means trying to win, right? If you lose in the process, granted, it shouldn't mean you didn't have fun, but your goal should be to win. That's what I'm saying. The goal should always be to win. So I disagree with Giannis. I think it was a very genuine and good answer, but I disagree with the point. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, sports win. But I agree that there's a difference between professional sports and non-professional sports to a certain extent, and that having fun is more important. But you should still always go to win. Because if you're not competitive, then why? It's hard to play sports and not be competitive. It just is. You gotta be competitive. Right. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna enjoy it if you're not competitive.
It's usually what takes you to the next level.
It's a competition.
It's usually what takes you to the next level.
Correct. 100%. All right, guys. Anyway,
Great. Your favorite thing.
Great talking to you guys. We'll catch up with you later. Thank you for listening to Dummies for Sports, brought to you by a massage. What's it called again?
Miracle Massage.
Miracle Massage. And if you want to hear the beautiful ad read that Meisty came up with on the spot, go back and listen to that. And that'll be it for us.
Yeah, it's been real, guys.
It's been real, guys.